Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Bob here, and today we're doing some more Everquest, and yes, it's a different bloody character. Let me just sit down actually so I can get some mana back. This is Guttrot the Ogre Shaman, or actually it's Guttrot. For some reason it wouldn't let me spell Guttrot with just the one T in the middle, so yeah, that's how we pronounced it. And he's and let's just change the view again. And here we've got another starter zone. This is the Feerrott, Feerrott, I think it's pronounced. And it's the ogre starting area. And I've started a Shaman purely because I haven't got a Case of Altitus, not yet anyway. There were sort of two classes that I wanted to play. Got the Dark Elf Shaman, which you've seen, Dark Elf Enchanter, which you saw in the last video. And this is the Ogre Shaman. I wasn't worried about races, particularly on the Shaman. I could have picked Barbarian, who's the good race, but I wasn't particularly bothered. And I have to confess that I did go onto a couple of forums to see what the old min-maxers were saying, and they said that the ogre's a good choice because of the strength and stamina scores, and also because they can't be stunned from the front apparently, which certainly makes it useful when you're trying to get off a spell and something's smacking you over the head. Well, hang on a sec, there's a jungle spider there. Let's just kill that because they're quite good on the old XP front for me at the moment. I'm level 4. The reason I've started a Shaman is, as I said before, they were the two classes that I wanted to play, Enchanter and a Shaman. Shaman because I was always quite envious when I was playing before. I never started a Shaman, but they always looked like a really interesting class. And when I'm in a group with them, so many things that they could do. It's quite amazing, really. Sort of the buffing, the debuffing. You know, you've got Spirit of Wolf at level 9, which is, you know, the spell that everyone wants in the game, whether they're just travelling or hunting, whatever it may be. Let's just finish off this little spider. There we go. They get a pet sort of later on in the game. They're pretty good healing class, you know, not as good as a cleric obviously, but they're pretty good. They don't port like my druid, but for some reason when I was playing with druid, and I was in a group with a Shaman, I felt a bit redundant, you know. I mean, I had my damage shields, which were quite useful, and I could throw out a bit of healing, a bit of rooting, that kind of thing, but the Shaman always looked like there was just so many more options, you know, so I always wanted to try one, so I've decided to do that, see how we go. I think also what I quite like about them is they appear to be very self-sufficient, which I think is quite important. You know, I'm kind of looking for a class where I can group up and things are great if I need to group up. Not too much healing at the moment. It's not good. I've got so many hit points, but first healing spell is hardly doing anything, so I should sit down, I think, probably. Yeah, they always look really self-sufficient, and I've kind of read that sort of later on at higher levels they're very good at soloing, sort of on classic anyway. So I thought I'd give it a go. They also do, yeah, so you've got the healing, the buffing, the debuffing, the Spirit of Wolf speed spell, the healing, you know, the direct damage they do. They've got some great damage over time spells as well, so yeah, I was pretty keen. I'm still playing by Enchanter though, he's level 6. I mean, I'm not going to be able to... There's Guttrot, look, a lovely fellow. I must get some armour, I have to say. I mean, not very... not very good to look at, the old ogres, when they're not wearing much. Yeah, I'm still playing with Enchanter, he's level 6. What I do need to do is just decide which one I'm going to play, because I don't really have the time to play both of them. So, oh, there's another Shaman. Look, no, sorry, I should say there's another ogre. Tuklak. I don't know what he is. He seems to have some armour on actually, which I currently don't have. He's a level below me. I'm level 4, so he's either level 2 or 3. So. I'm not sure what class he is, but let's chuck a couple of buffs his way. Or is he going to move off? Oh, he's going to move off and kill a spider. So what I'll do, I'll move off and kill a black wolf. Yeah, so I do need to decide which class to play. I don't have the time to play both of them. It's a close call at the moment. I'm not quite sure which way it's going to go, but you'll find out in future videos. I have to say that I've had a bit of a time. Oh, high quality wolf skin, awesome! That might sell for quite a lot. I've had a bit of a time with the Shaman. I think it's something to do with the zone actually. The Feerrott, well, apart from that bird you can hear whistling or whatever it is, constantly over and over. The Feerrott is quite a hard zone to play in. I think part of the problem is the fact that for a lot of the cities, like if you start in Kinos for example, the the starter zone, you walk out the gate where there's loads of guards to help you if you need the help, and there's sort of tons of mobs to kill just outside the gate. So if you come out the Ogre City, there's just nothing there. You know, you have to travel a bit before you start finding things to kill. So it can be a bit of a run back to the guards if you get in trouble. And it is a zone where you can get in trouble quite a bit. I mean, it was raining yesterday when I was playing in the zone, and the visibility was about, well, it must have only been a few yards in front of me. And while I can, like at level 4, I can kind of take on, you know, a few of the sort of lizardmen broodlings at once. You know, the spiders are a different matter. If you're fighting a spider, and because they assist each other, you see, so if you're fighting a spider and another one wanders past and joins in, then you're in trouble. And I did die a couple of times. A couple of times because I couldn't actually find my way back to the guards. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a bitch, and I've kind of been sort of really sort of getting the feelings again that I used to get playing EverQuest. You know, whereas just the harshness of the game, you know, you don't get any second chances. It doesn't give you a chance. You know, if you're caught with your pants down, then you're gonna die essentially. And a couple of times I've kind of just let myself die because it was easier than running around Benny Hill style with a load of guards chasing me. Yeah, so this zone has kind of brought all the frustrations back. But at the same time, I'm enjoying the game, and I think that's why. You know, it's particularly playing the Shaman here. I've just come to as a little lizard man broodling. He's got a weapon as well, so let's give him a smack. I'm not sure. I have to say, I'm not sure how long it will last. How long my patience will last with the game. But what's missing from the other games that EverQuest has had, and obviously has still got, if you go back and play the classic game, is it's got that. As I said, I don't know if I said before, but it's a bit like the Dark Souls and Demon Souls games, where you've always got to be careful of what you're doing. You know, and that creates a certain tension. You know, and a danger that you just don't get in the other games. You know, it's if you die in Lord of the Rings Online, for example, or if you die in World of Warcraft, it really has little consequence. In fact, none, apart from probably a very small amount of time. Even that, depending on what situation you may not lose any time at all. But apart from the inconvenience of a very small amount of time, there's no punishment, or there's no consequence if you die. And I think sort of risk and reward and consequence in EverQuest is massively high, and I think that's what makes it such an appealing game. You know, it's I was speaking to someone the other day, and I said I've loaded up EverQuest again, and they were an old EverQuest player, and they just couldn't believe what I was doing. You know, why have you gone back? And I think it's I mean you know, one of the reasons is the fact that I'm kind of between games. I'm waiting for Diablo 3 to come out, yeah, it's I came back for, as I said before on one of the videos, purely from just to have a look and see, you know, from a purely nostalgic point of view. But now I'm back, you know, I'm discovering things that are missing from the more sort of you know, current MMOs. I have to say there are some things I'm not missing. There are some amazingly crazy design choices, like as a level. Well, sort of at the level that I'm at. I was fighting something the other day. The other day, it would have been yesterday. And I must have missed about 10 hits in a row with my staff. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, that's crazy design. You know, you've got a new player. Obviously, you want them to carry on playing. You know, you want them to enjoy the game enough to sort of continue paying you money every month. You know, but the developers have designed a game where you could sit there fighting something at level 1 and you're swinging and you just keep missing. You know, and I don't know why I can't loot this bloody corpse. Yeah, I'm trying to, too far away. Yeah, and sort of design decisions like that. You know, and also when it was raining yesterday in the zone, as a new player, new to the game, you know, you're running around a zone, you can hardly see where you're going. Things just keep appearing out of nowhere and hitting you. And you keep dying, and you just think, wow, it's... I don't know at the time. I'm not sure if it was a brave decision by the developers. I really don't know. I guess there was nothing else at the time to judge it by. You know, most of us playing EverQuest had probably come from Ultra Online. You know, and Ultra Online also was a bloody harsh mistress as well. You know, particularly when there was when there were no sort of non-PvP servers to play on. You know, I mean, you could go outside and just keep getting killed by other players. So maybe in comparison to that, it wasn't. Maybe when we came to Everquest, you know, the fact that no other players could kill us was, you know, we didn't care if we were swinging our weapon and we were missing 15 times in a row. You know, we were just glad a sort of, you know, master killer sort of didn't just pop out of nowhere and blast you with an e-bolt or a flame strike or something, you know. So maybe that's why we got on with Everquest so well, you know, because although it was tough, you know, we knew we couldn't die to other players, and we couldn't be sort of griefed in that way. Maybe that was it, I don't know. Yeah, but yesterday I really did come across some things that made me think, bloody hell, they designed it this way. You know, were they crazy, or I don't know. But at the same time, as I said, I'm enjoying it. You know, there's a danger and there's a sort of a feeling of just a feeling of, you know, there's a real anticipation that you might possibly die at any moment, you know, and that keeps you on your toes. And it is enjoyable, you know. I don't know if I'm sort of masochistic or whatever, I really don't know, but it is enjoyable. And as I've probably said about 4 times now, I do apologise for repeating myself. I think that's what's missing, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Everquest is going to be a long-term thing for me or not. I've got no idea. But I'm certainly enjoying playing it at the moment, and that's quite good. And the thing is, as well, is that essentially it's kind of free. I think I'm going to go and donate some money to the I'm sure they must have a donation thing, the guys who run the server, because it's well worth it, you know. I mean, I've had a great time since I've been here. Everyone I've met and spoken to have been pretty friendly. Not many people, but on my enchanter, you know, quite a few guys have stopped and just dropped buffs on me, like mega buffs that have really helped with levelling. Yeah, so it's been a good experience, and hats off to the Project 1999 guys, because they've done a fantastic job. And anyone who's interested in looking back at Everquest, give it a go. You know, I mean, if you're, how can I put it? I mean, I used to work in the games industry, so it feels a bit sort of anathema to me to be suggesting it. But I think with such an old game, it probably doesn't matter too much. Maybe, I don't know. The game is still live after all. But if you're resourceful, you can get the game pretty easily. You need the titanium edition, and it's free to play on this server, although obviously I recommend making a donation, because if you can, because the guys are obviously putting in a lot of work. So yeah, so this is Guttrot, the level 4 Shaman. I'm approaching level 5, where I'll get some more spells. The cleric classes, or the healing classes, the druid, cleric and shaman, get some of their level spells, some of their circle spells a bit later than the pure casters. So I get shaman, I get spells at level 1, then I'll get some more spells at level 5, which is a level later than the casters. Then I'll get some more at 9, then it's more at 14. So yeah, so they kind of fall behind for when they get their new circle of spells. Oh, there we go. Fighting one, and another one's joined in, but I think we should be okay. As long as no more joined in, of course. that would be bad news. Oh shit, there's 3 of the buggers. Come on, kill one of them at least. That's it, right, okay. I'm hoping that these are both blue. If they're both blue, I should be okay. If one of them's the same level as me, I could be in for a bit of a bad time. That's where, see, I mean, I've missed the last couple of hits, and that's where you really sort of, you know, that's really where the sort of, you know, where you find yourself in trouble. You miss a couple of hits, and they're hitting you. Your hit points are getting low, and suddenly you're in trouble. But no, my Guttrot, the tough old boot that he is. There you go. He's taken on 3, and he's 1. I'm picking up the spider silks, because apparently they were back in the day. I'm not sure if they still are, but they were quite valuable, the spider silks. People use them in crafting, and they buy a stack for quite a lot of platinum, I think. Hopefully it's the same on this server, because I've nearly got a stack. And I could do with some cash for the next set of spells. Yes, I mean, it's a funny zone, this one, because as I said, you have to move quite away from your starter section, starter guards, to find things to kill. So it can be a bit dangerous. Got to watch myself here because I'm standing out in the open. Things were wandering around behind me. I've never been to this zone really before, and I've never been to this bit here. It's kind of like a bit like a, looks a bit like a mouldy Stonehenge, doesn't it? It's kind of got some symbols carved on it. I'm not sure what they are. They kind of look like dark elven to me, the symbols, but I've got no idea if they are or not. Yeah, it's a strange old zone, this one, because you have to travel a bit, as I said, to find your starter things to beat upon, and then you have to move further and further away, really, as you get up in as your levels go up. I mean, I'm kind of on the other corner of the zone at the moment, killing these spiders. If I get in trouble, I'm going to be in trouble. So I'm playing on the zone wall and being as careful as I can. Black wolf skin. I mean, I haven't got any bags at the moment, so I can't carry anything else. I probably need to go and sell up stuff. And I was hoping to get to level 5 before I went back to sell, but I mean, it's taking so long. You know, I'm going to have to kill so many mobs to get to that point that I may have a little visit back. I tell you what, I didn't want this video to go on for ages and ages, but let's kill this spider. Then what we'll do, we'll have a little run around to Orge, so you can have a quick look at that. That's the ogre city, essentially, where you start from. I think we're going to win this fight pretty easily by the looks of things. He's got quite a lot of hit points, though, this chap. I reckon he must be level 3, this one. He's giving me a run for the money. That's one of the things you notice as well. What difference just one level makes in the game, with regards to sort of yourself when you're fighting mobs. I'm not sure if this Tucklack bloke's got any. Hoping he hasn't got any buffs on him. But I'm gonna stick a couple of buffs on him. There we go. So I've got Inner Fire, which is an AC spell, and I've got Dexterous Aura. There we go. And what we'll do now, we'll have a little run through the zone, hugging the zone wall, and we'll go back and have a look at Orge. See what you think. There was just before I did the buffs. There was something on the tip of my tongue that I was going to say. Yeah, what I was saying about levels. It's amazing how much difference one level makes. Like fighting a blue, I'm level 4, so fighting a blue spider that's level 2 is peanuts. That one there was level 3, and he took a real bashing. I mean, it was a massive difference between him and the level 2 version. I've also come across the odd level 4 versions, which would sort of con white to me. And they're tough, you know. I mean, they really give me a run for the money, and I had to sort of run away from one of them, and that was the same level as me. Fighting a yellow one, sort of certainly at the level I am with the equipment and spells I've got, I'd be in big trouble. So yeah, it's amazing the difference just one level makes when you're in combat. Often difference between living and dying, really. I mean, I think that I'm still sort of faffing about with Lord of the Rings Online. Although the playthrough I was doing seems to have come to a bit of a standstill, but yeah, just sort of it's interesting how a one level difference in Everquest can leave you dead, whereas you don't quite have that danger in something like Lord of the Rings Online. Now I must point out, for all of these Everquest videos, and what I'm saying about the more contemporary MMOs, is that I'm not criticising them at all. I love Lord of the Rings Online. I'm a massive Tolkien fan. Yeah, I'd rather they did some things differently, but I love playing the game. The games are excellently designed and great fun to play, so I'm not criticising them as such. But I do personally feel that they've become too easy. You know, they've just become too. They've just taken out all the danger from the games, essentially, which is fine. I guess that's what people wanted. You know, maybe people didn't want to go on sort of corpse runs that may take hours. You know, they didn't want to spend 2 hours, 3 hours gaining experience only to lose it when they died once. You know, maybe people just didn't want that, and that's fine. But it does make a difference to the game, I think. You know, the atmosphere of the game and how you play. Now we're just going to, if you saw that there, let's go back. I kind of get the impression that the ogre, ogre staple diet is dwarf. There you go. Half of a dwarf hanging up there cooking. I'd probably took the head off myself first before I started cooking, but there you go. I think it's a dwarf. Yeah, it looks like it. I think they probably need to lower it down a bit because it's taken an awfully long time to cook. Anyway, let's go into Orge. I think that's how you pronounce it. And have a little look round. It's a rather basic city, I have to say. I think probably when you look at the supposed intellect of the ogres, I guess that's not surprising. But I do believe, if memory serves, going back to kind of like the history in Everquest, I think the ogres used to be the most dominant race. I think they used to be pretty powerful, you know, travelling around sort of Norath doing exactly what they wanted, I believe, sort of thousands of years ago in the timeline. But I think something happened and they were kind of put in their place and decimated to a certain extent. So yeah, so they're not anymore. They're very, very primitive. And this is it mostly. This is a city. You get these little stone huts which some of the merchants live in. You've got some underground sections. What I'm going to do is go and visit my. I was hoping not to come back here till level 5, but I'm going to go and visit my my trainers and stuff. There's a bouncer, one of the guards. Bouncer ran. Looks pretty cool. I'm hoping to get some armour myself soon. It must be a bit of some trade skills going on here. A bit of not sure what that would be. A bit of tailoring. Is that some cotton going on there? So the the ogres are still capable. And I'm actually getting quite fond of my my big guy, I have to say. It's quite a lot of fun. Now I think these guys are shaman trainers, or they sell spells and stuff. And I think just up here, just around the corner here, I think you've got the head. Yeah, Guttrot. I think he's the is he or is he not? Yeah, Guttrot. I think he's the head shaman guy. And as you can see, I'm liking his armour. I'm hoping to get some myself. I've got 20 points to spend. I mean, I don't really have anything to spend on at the moment, so I'll probably wait until I get meditation, which helps with my sort of gaining mana back and stuff. That's the other thing that I picked the shaman for. They get some spells later on, which means that they're very efficient at sort of keeping them health and mana topped up as well. And I thought that was quite important. I didn't want to be sort of sitting around too much, just not doing anything. Which was sort of the bane of Everquest at the time. But the shamans are quite good at sort of keeping themselves going. So I think they're quite, they're very self-sufficient, and I think that's one of the things one of the reasons why I always wanted to play one. But we'll see how it goes. Hello, Grop. What does Grop do? Grop's he's a merchant selling weapons and stuff. Okay, guys, I think I'll end the video here. This has been, what's up here? This has been Guttrot, the ogre shaman. Bouncer Scar there. Look, that's an awesome name. Guttrot, the ogre shaman. Give us a wave goodbye, big fella. See you later. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll speak to you again soon, and where I'll be back with some other videos, which could be Everquest or Lord of the Rings Online or Diablo 3, whatever it may be. I'll speak to you again soon.